Well, once again, I find myself with Silvana Claassen, and previously we discussed an article which looked at carbon tax and the implication of that in South Africa, and more recently an article titled Financial Implications of Carbon Tax and the Carbon Tax Liability. But Silvana, before I ask you just to say a few words about the concept of money and carbon tax, just tell us a little bit about where you're from again, please.
Yes, I am from Holland originally, and I've been in South Africa for 6 years. Since I arrived in this country, I started specializing in climate change, and it's also already a passion for me since 2007. And well, there was this opportunity to become a CDM auditor for the UNFCCC, which I embraced fully, and through that I just specialized further and further.
So you've been spending 6 years now effectively reducing our carbon footprint, obviously with varying degrees of success. But one of the drivers to make that happen, of course, is carbon tax liability.
Yes.
Maybe some comments on that.
Yes. Well, South Africa has also submitted to the Paris Agreement its NDC, its national contribution to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, to keep the global temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius. And in order to do this, in order to be able to achieve its commitments, it has to implement a mix of policy measures, among which the carbon tax is one. And the carbon tax is, I think, quite a powerful policy measure because it's got financial implications. And, well, history actually points out that as soon as financial implications come into play, action might happen.
Well, people understand that,
yes.
I suppose. So, I suppose the next question then is, do you believe that these pressures and the financial implication, is it enough?
I think it is not enough, definitely not. Therefore, also South Africa has proposed a mix of measures. And I think also reputation, how is South Africa standing on the global map as a partner to do business with. Also what one can see is that annual reporting, such as the CDP, which is the Climate Disclosure Project, is becoming not yet mandatory, but there is definitely request from the international investor community that companies do disclose their emissions information. So it is indeed a play of different measures together. Yeah.
And I suppose that's the trick. There's no one solution. You've got to look at this holistic basket of solutions, but you've really got to make it work.
Yeah.
I might say it's probably a bit tongue-in-cheek, but one of the pictures in your article in the February edition of Electricity and Control was a lovely thing saying there is no planet B, which is a play on there is no plan B. I mean, that worries me a little bit in a way, and it is amusing, but it does tell us that this is effectively the last chance we get, I suppose, to get this kind of thing right.
I agree with you, and actually it also worries me very much because there is indeed no planet B, and therefore I think that climate change right now is one of the biggest challenges that the world faces as a global community. But at the same time, I think that the world can also use it as, not really this, but use its technological innovations, which has made the world a global village,
yes.
to work together as a global community to face this challenge. And I hope we are not too late, but I definitely think that action needs to be taken rather yesterday than today or tomorrow.
Right.
Really.
And then last thing just to touch on, Carbon and Energy Solutions South Africa, your company.
Yes.
I like the juxtaposition of carbon and energy,
Yes.
because the reality is these are linked.
Yes.
We need the energy,
Yes.
but we've got to understand
Yes.
the implication. Tell us a little bit about what you offer, CES
Yes.
South Africa.
Yes. Now, what we do, we help actually companies. So we are not physically reducing the carbon footprint. I don't want to give that
Energy.
idea, but we want to help companies, advise them on how to, in a cost-effective manner, reduce their carbon footprint and at the same time reduce also their financial liabilities as a result of carbon tax, but also reputation, high compliance and other ways to make extra money, because I believe actually a transition to a low carbon society is actually a business opportunity which one can see.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean the Science Based Targets Initiative, it's a global initiative. It was launched 2 years ago. And it's actually already 200 of world's biggest companies have signed up to it. And that's a clear indication that also bigger companies are seeing the business value of taking action to reduce your your carbon footprint. And yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
There's no doubt
Yeah.
this is an area that we're going to have to focus
And
more
that
on.
is also, sorry, but something that we see as really like to help companies with, to set their science-based targets. And
Yes.
That's one of
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much, and I look forward to reading more in the future as to how we take this forward.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Silvana.
too. Thank you too.